stand with our general operating accounts, our bank accounts, and investment accounts. You will see where we ended the fiscal year 23-24 in June. We ended at 8 million. At our investment accounts, we had 3,463,618. Where we currently stand in November of the 24-25 school year, we are at 3,500,000 for $547,767. We had an $84,149 gain in 5 months in our investment accounts. I think that is a big win for us for just 5 months. In the beginning, it was kind of staggering and slow, but we have picked up, and we hope by the end of the school year we have a larger gain.
Great interest rates. I don't know what they're paying, but I need to invest in that.
Yeah. Yes, that was a great investment from our superintendent to do. Our total cash position right now, we are at 11 million, so we are in a good standing currently with that. If you go down to our district revenue key stats for our ad valorem taxes, we budgeted 2.5 million. That is a $40,000 increase. We hope at the end of the year, well, we will at the end of the year meet that.
All right.
Yes, for our sales taxes, we budgeted 2.1 million. Through the first 5 months, we will probably exceed what was budgeted, but that's also a gain as well. For our MFP, we budgeted 8.6. Receive to date, we are on target. We received 3 million so far from our MFP. It has gone down, but it is expected. On the next page, we had a drop in our student total. So that is the reason our MFP is a little lower. It is expected, but we are hoping for our February count, it could go up, it could go down. We're just gonna wait until our February count, and I will have that update for you all. Alrighty. Down to our total payroll year to date, we are on pace and on target with that. We ended our 23-24 at 7.5 million. We may be hitting that as well at the end of our 25 school year. But we will know, and you will have that information once we complete our payroll. Our general fund surplus, we did budget a deficit, but that was due to our school improvements, our construction. So it was noted from our June talks. So, in addition to our financial standpoint, I would like to point out that we did turn in our AFR on time. I am excited about that, happy about that. So we have no dings from the state. We are in the process of making corrections if we need to have key punch codes matching the others, but we are in good standing with the state for our AFR. Our 23, I'm sorry.
You said you turned in your AFR, what is that?
Our annual financial report. I do apologize.
Okay.
Our annual financial report. That's our
That
overall.
Our CPA prepares?
Yes, ma'am.
So he prepared, it was prepared.
Well, that's our audit. Our CPA prepares
okay.
our audit. The AFR is
It's
with
done
me.
internal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
It's
so
internal.
You completed?
Yes,
you completed
ma'am.
the internal report and you got it in on time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Did we have to do, we didn't have to do any kind of budget amendments, did we?
Not yet. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Well,
Because I
we
know
will.
We doing ours now at our next board meeting.
Yes, ma'am. We will have to do a budget amendment, but that's at a later date for us to discuss. Alrighty. Our current payroll processing, we are currently with net checks, and we are moving back to Power School. That has been a lengthy process, but we are working to have that completed by January 1, and we are looking to target our January 1 paycheck date with Power School. We are on target. And being that we moved out of net checks, our new timekeeping company is Time Clock Plus. So we look to have each employee enrolled and able to clock in and out when we return back to school in January. So that was a big process as well, but we are working diligently in the financial office to get that taken care of so we can have our audit smooth.
Now Netflix, they do your quarterly reports to the state, don't they? When they
Net
do
checks?
Net checks, I mean.
Well, no, we do all of that internal. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay, you do it internally.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, same thing's gonna happen with Power School?
Yes,
They're
ma'am.
just gonna do the data? You gonna
It
do
will be
all the
prepared.
reporting?
Power School will prepare it better and have it more detailed for what the state looks
So
for.
it's easier for you to get it?
Yes, ma'am. Totally easy.
Yeah, when I had a company, we did paychecks, and they did everything, they did our reporting and everything.
Yes, ma'am. So Power School will be
They're
a
very-
wonderful asset to us.
Yeah, I did hear some complaints about that, net check.
Yes, ma'am. So another uncovered process. So we did learn in Power School that our books have not been closed for the past 3 years. So I am working with Power School every day to get our books closed and up to date for our 24-25 school year. That consisted of going back internally, pulling our records, bank statements, our deposits, our withdrawals, our payroll. That's getting everything aligned in Power School so our numbers match in Power School what we report to the state. So that is currently being done, and I hope to have that completed by February 25. See, any questions?
No question.
Alrighty. Thank you all for your time. Have a great one.
Right.
That concludes the budget finance.
Policy committee's called over.
Mr. Alton Travis,
Here.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes, Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Report on bus purchases by Morgan
Who was there?
Transportation.
No, George is not here.
So who's gonna serve you?
Can you speak to the phone?
Yeah,
Oh, you,
I'll-
okay.
yeah.
Report on bus purchases by Morgan Transportation.
Yep.
Yeah, just read.
Yes. Miss. Okay. Perfect timing.
You must have heard me call you.
Good evening. I'm on the agenda to report that Morgan Transportation has asked permission for and received permission to purchase 5 buses, new buses for their fleet. They're upgrading their fleet. They purchased 4 2015s and 1 2016. They followed the procedures that we put in place a couple of years ago for purchasing. I do have pictures of them, which I left them on my desk, I'm sorry. But they're very nice buses, they're air conditioned. They are actually already equipped with cameras. So, you know, I think it was a good purchase for them. So they're gonna be replacing some of their buses that's on their fleet right now. Okay,
So,
yes ma'am.
so was this supposed to come to us first before?
No ma'am, that's not part of the policy, no ma'am. They had to go through Dr. Joseph first. Yes ma'am, and they followed that. They requested permission, she, you know, approved them, and they did the two T10, I'm sorry, and they followed the procedure that we put in place. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am. In addition, while I'm up here, in the last couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we have had some bus accidents. I just left the scene of one. It was a very minor accident, not our fault. And of course, we know we had one with a fatality that the assumption is that won't be our fault either. So, but I just wanted to update you all. I'm still waiting on the report. I'm working with the city police. They worked the first accident, and the state trooper worked this one today. So I just want to let you all know that, as far as injury to any of our learners, they're okay. Of course, I'm sure there were hospital visits, but I have not received any reports of any major injuries. So, any more questions?
Whose bus was that today?
It belonged to Morgan Transportation. The one on the 15th belonged to us. This one today belonged to Morgan Transportation. Yes, ma'am.
That concludes the policy review.
All right, that concludes all of our committee meetings. We'll just wait about a minute before we move right into our regular board meeting. You here tonight, can you? No, sir. Yeah, I know, right?
I want to say I thank God and thank y'all for being back.
Yes, sir.
Down. Yeah.
Glad to have you back.
Father God, we thank you and praise your name, give your name glory. Letting us be back together. It's from school board meeting. December 2024. Lord, that's so wonderful, that's so great, and that's so good. Bless these things for saying that this meeting tonight. Let it be blessing to all of us, to the staff and to the students, my God. Lord, give your name honor and praise. Thank you, my God. Thank you, Lord. Thank God. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting room will come to order. We're now holding a meeting of the St. Helena Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter. Present. Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes, Ms. Virginia Bell, Mr. Alton Travis.
Here.
The quorum has been established.
Item B, approve minutes and agenda from November the 14th, 2024 committee meeting, November the 14th, 2024 regular board meeting, and the current agenda. Can I get a motion to approve those collectively?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter. Second by Ms. Lolita Porter. Any questions? No questions, shall pass by general consent. Item C, principal report.
We have Ms. Thompson, who will be presenting information for the St. Helena Early Learning Center.
Good evening, Board.
Dr. Joseph?
So I will be presenting on the discipline data, December 12th, 2024. So as you can see, the number of referrals by month. So we're looking at August month, we had 1 out-of-school suspension, 1 conference with a learner, and 1 contact with the parent. So we had 3 in August. September, we had 1 out-of-school suspension, 2 learners reprimanded. So we also had 3 in September. Looking at the month of October, we had 2 out-of-school suspension. We contacted 3 parents. So we had a total of 5 for October. Looking at the month of November, we had 3 out-of-school suspension, 2 removed from the bus, and we had a conference with a learner. So we had November a total of 6. So looking at December as of today, we had 1 learner suspended from the bus. We had a conference with a learner, and we contacted 3 parents. So we had a total of 5 for December and a total of 22 in all. So now we're looking at the number of referrals by action code. So as you can see, blue, we had 6 out-of-school suspensions. The red, we had 2 removed from the bus. The orange, we had 1 learner suspended. And the green, we had a conference with 3 learners. Purple, we had 3 students reprimanded. And blue, we contacted 7 parents. So now, with that being said, the systems we have in place, we have the positive behavior intervention and support, which is our PBIS that we do each month. Last month we did our carnival, which was a success. This month we are doing the pancakes and PJs next week. So that's going to be exciting. And we use the class dojo points for the PBIS. So the learners know that they must, behave in the class and on campus. And as the teachers see, they give points consistently. We also have clear and consistent consequences, whereas inside the classroom and on campus, the teachers know they must reinforce those rules and ensure that the learners understanding the behaviors. So for family engagement, we make sure that we are communicating with the parents about any behaviors that's going on, whether it's positive or negative, so they can be in tune with what's going on with their child. So for behavior data tracking, we use a system with the Louisiana behavior report, and we also have another data tracking that the teacher used inside the classroom, which we'll talk about later. So those are some of the systems we have in place. So structures. So the structures we have in place are behavior expectations and rules. So of course we know at the beginning of the year, teachers as well as the principals, all leaders, we must establish what we want to see on our campus. So we do that, model the behavior, and consistently throughout the year it is done. Positive reinforcement system, that's pretty much the same as we enforcing, what we have going on the campus, ensuring that the teachers and the learners and we all are following the system. Classroom management strategies. Of course, teachers have their own classroom management strategies within, but we also have the HALT poster for positive behavior that is universal that the teachers also follow. And for data collection and monitoring, that's also the Louisiana behavior sheet we use along with the other behavior log. And family involvement. So that is a structure that we also, have conferences with the parents if learners are misbehaving and if learners are doing good. We consistently try to leave those messages. So those are the forms, and you have them inside your packet. SHADA, along with ELC, we uses the behavior log. It mimics just the same. I think we might have one or two steps that's different. And of course, the Louisiana behavior log, which is a live document that teachers, if it's a major infraction, they immediately go in and they can type up, email it, and we take care, the problem because it's a live document. And so the processes. So establishing and teaching expectations. So we all know when it comes to learners, we have to be consistent in teaching what we expect inside the classroom, what we expect on our campus. So that is a consistent process that we are doing at St. Helena Early Learning Center. And the behavior incident reporting, that's what we use as the document that you just seen, that teachers, if a learner, we trying to track if something is going on today, tomorrow, they have to document the steps daily so we can see if it's something that we might need to check into to try to get resolved. Then, of course, our tier behavior support process, that's where we have the whole, everybody, PBIS. Then we have the small, whereas we might have to bring small groups in and talk to them about behaviors that's going on. And then the positive reinforcement process. Of course, that's the same as the PBIS we're doing, the class dojo, sending home the reports weekly with the behaviors from the teachers that go home so that the parents can see and they can help at home with what's going on inside the classroom. The incident response process, once again, that goes back to the two documents you saw, whereas the teachers must document learners' behavior before they make it a major. So they have to have the documentation because our ultimate goal is to ensure that learners are not being put out of school but remain inside, inside the school and the classroom. Then our communication process. Once again, that goes along with keeping communication with the parents and the teachers and the learners. Of course, it starts inside the classroom on campus, whereas that communication is going, and they understand. So outcomes. So we all know with the outcomes what we want to see. So at St. Helena Early Learning Center, the outcomes we want to see, we want to foster a positive and supportive learning environment. We want to promote self-regulation. We want to reduce disruptive behaviors. And we want to develop social skills. We want to reduce in-office discipline referrals. And we want to develop parent and family engagement. Okay, so assessment data. So this will be our mid-year report. And as you can see for ELA, we have 7.7% of our learners. This is the whole K through second. That's blue, which is advanced, and 10.3% mastery, and 29.5% basic, 32.1% approaching basic, and we have 20.5% unsat. So our math data, you can see we have 14.4% advanced learners, 14.4% mastery learners, and 27.4% basic learners, 31.2% approaching basic, and 12.6% unsat. So looking at the comparison from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year, you can see that we did show growth. We went from 14% to 17% with ELA, and we have a huge increase with the math from 8% to 29%. So what we do for that data and to try to improve those scores, we make sure that we are doing a small group instruction. We're ensuring that data is informing what our teachers are doing, and we're progress monitoring. Whereas every 2 weeks, the learners are being tested for the DIBELS to ensure that the ones that are unsatisfactory, they are moving toward growth. And then we have our Tier 1 phonics curriculum, which is the CKLA. and weekly professional developments that target those skills that the learners need and the teachers need to help them achieve. And we also are using a mirror tutoring, which is a great source for our learners. We're helping them read and learn those sounds. And we use our Ready Reading daily. Yes. Any questions?
I got one quick one. On that process, you said you send reports home to the parents. Those are, you said there's positive information in there and negative. I mean, there's a combination of both.
Yes, it's like a weekly report where if the learner might have misbehaved, then the teachers have like a little box where they check, and then learners who did good, it's like a green smiley face.
So
Yes,
they got
ma'am.
the
It goes.
good in there as well.
Yes. We try to promote more positive and not with the negative. Yes. Any more questions?
I'm just happy to see those math numbers like they are, to be honest with you, because I know math is something that a lot of students, have difficulties with, so I'm glad to see that number.
Yes, we are ensuring that the learners are receiving the digital lessons with the Zern weekly, 3 to 4 lessons, and the teachers are really implementing that they do it, and the learners are showing the growth. And so, yes.
That's good. Definitely positive. And I like Class Dojo too.
Yes. The parents get a chance to see what's going on daily with Class Dojo.
Yep, I like that platform.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before Ms. Thompson leaves the podium, I just want to recognize her. She will be graduating this weekend. She has completed her master's program in educational leadership. So I just want to take a moment to recognize her efforts. Congratulations, Ms. Thompson. Next will be the Arts and Technology. He's en route. Okay, well then we'll move on to Ms. Strickland with St. Helena College and Career Academy.
Hello, everybody.
Bye.
All right, so our December update, we're going to be covering our ACT index benchmark scores. Our current LEAP 2025 scores, some of our scores have started coming in from our testing, so I'm going to share those.
I'm sorry, I can't see. Would you mind doing that light these lights right here?
Just turn the
All
one.
it is a glare.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to talk about discipline and some solutions to some concerning things that we've noticed. When you're looking at our ACT index includes part of the ACT scores for the learners and the work keys. So it's a combination of both. So our current ACTs, and these are just for our seniors, we have 3 learners that have an 18, 1 a 19, 2 a 21, and 1 has a 23. For work keys, we have 5 that have silver, 4 have gold, and 1 has a platinum. Once they hit gold, some of them will opt to continue taking it, but most of them after gold, they're like, they're good. We did have one, though, that pushed through and he earned his platinum. So when we look at the names and the numbers behind, our learner that has the platinum also has the 23. So we get more points for the platinum, so of course that's where he falls on the ACT index. So our points where we put when we put them into the SPS calculator, we have 7 either 18s or silvers. We have 1 19, a 21, 3 that either have a 20, well they have a gold because we have no 22s, and we have 1 that has the platinum. And so when you input that and the learners who have not scored 18 or higher or silver or higher, we have a 26.8 ACT index today. So our ACT index is going up. We have approximately 18 learners that are 1 to 2 tests away from having their gold, and we have quite a few that are ready to bump from silver to gold. So benchmark data. This was taken prior to the Thanksgiving break in preparation for the LEAP testing that is taking place now. English 1 and 2. I'm going to talk about, well, I don't want to read it to y'all because everybody in here can read, but looking at it, concerning when it looks at unsats, Algebra 1 is our concerning number, which had the highest unsat at 10. English 2 had 14 advanced, so they had the highest advanced category. If you add their 8 masteries, we had quite a few that would have gotten us a lot of points if it would have been our LEAP, but that's okay. They're going to give it when we get there. Geometry had 10 mastery, 1 advanced. Civics had 13 advanced, 10 mastery. So looking at it, we are seeing higher numbers in the mastery and advanced category with this benchmark compared to the one we had September, October. So we are seeing an increase. For our junior high, 8th grade social studies, they had 20 unsats, 10 approaching basic, 5 basic, and then 13 each mastery and advanced on his benchmark. So that's a high increase from what we normally see in our social studies classes. 7th grade science, we only had 6 unsats. We had 32 approaching basic, 15 basic, 10 mastery, and 8 advanced. 8th grade social studies and 7th grade science do not get that subject in the spring. So we are working that into our intervention schedule so that they will still get that content throughout the spring. So hopefully they won't lose it before the LEAP test they take in May. 7th and 8th grade ELA, 7th grade ELA, 4 advanced, 14 mastery, 13 basic, 14, and then only 11 unsats. 8th grade ELA, 25 unsats, 15 approaching basic, 10 basic, 8 mastery, and 6 advanced. 8th grade math for advanced, that's only supposed to be 1. I don't know where them numbers came from, but it's only 1. 16 mastery, 11 basic, 21 approaching, and 10. And then 7th grade math, 21 unsats, 30 approaching, 10 basic, 16 basic, 5 mastery, and only 1 advanced. So we do have a lot of work to do when it comes to our math classes and our ELA classes to get them where we want them to be before LEAP in May. LEAP 2025. This is our data for our first-time testers. Okay, I did not make a graph for our retesters. I'll give that update in January. But English 1, 2, and U.S. History have started reporting. This is not complete. We still have a few pending in all. English 1 has 1 unsatisfactory, 3 approaching basic, and 4 basic as of now. English 2 has 3 unsats, 7 approaching, 4 basic, 7 mastery, and 1 advanced. U.S. History has 8 unsats and 1 of each approaching basic and basic. So we definitely have some growth to do, and I'm going to talk about that when we get to the solutions at the end. When we talk about our discipline, this is from August till today. We have had 135 learner conferences, 193 out-of-school suspensions. That is, a lot of those are repeaters. ISS, we've had on average 6 to 8 a day. I could not reach the binder today to give an accurate count of how many different learners have served ISS. I don't have a key to that room, but I will get that number and have included in January's count. Some solutions that we have talked about in various meetings this week and last week for testing. We're going to continue our intense intervention with content teachers weekly. The learners who either don't test this semester or fail the LEAP test, including our retesters, will see the content-specific teacher during intervention in the spring at least twice a week so that they'll get that intervention they need before the test comes up again in May. Prior to our LEAP 2025 in the spring, we hope to either have the Mastery Connect boot camps again that we've had in the past, or we're going to reach out to some of the content experts. I'm not saying classroom teachers, the content experts maybe on staff in other positions, such as if it's a director, like Dr. John Paul is he's very good in math. He might help us out a little bit. Ms. Nettles might help us a little bit in English, but we're going to reach out. Myself, we're going to take turns and try to do some really intense study sessions the couple days right before the test to kind of hammer home what they need. ACT, I met with our learners today that scored 16, 17, and 18s on the ACT. 18s barely get us any points for the SPS. A lot of them said they just need some extras, like some intense test prep or like some strategies right before the test. So for the next test, I think it's February, I will meet with them the 2 days before the test for about an hour or 2 each day and give them some different strategies and go over some content that we have from Mastery Connect and from our ACT platform. Word keys, we're going to do some test prep sessions with Ms. Clark and Mr. Gavin day or week before testing. specifically with those learners who are right there at bumping up to the next level to get us our points. So we're going to be doing that, and we'll get that. We have the Work Keys Boot Camp books that we've used in the past, so we'll be utilizing that resource. For discipline, our goal is to increase parent meetings. We've had a total of 15 parent meetings this week. Specifically Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday were our highest. We had 3 today. The learners we met with on Tuesday and Wednesday, we see an improvement in their behavior. So we hope to continue increasing that to help them curb some of those behaviors we're seeing. We talked with PBIS about increasing our behavior interventions, such as some learners just need a break. They can't sit still for 90 minutes, and trying to implement some of those. Maybe a peer-to-peer program to help them be supported by a peer who doesn't struggle with that behavior to encourage them to do better, and implementing some mentors for those children who really struggle with discipline at the school. PBIS events monthly, we're going to do them on the fourth Friday of every month. We're going to celebrate the scores. Tomorrow we are having a Not Your Average test score party for 16 of our seniors who have either hit 17 or higher on the ACT or silver or higher on the Work Keys. Celebrate small successes. We will have an awards day for academic and outstanding behaviors. The one for January is in the planning stages, and then we'll have one in March at the end of the first 9 weeks, and we'll do another one in May. So that are some of the solutions we have come up with to try to curb some of the issues we see. Some events that I want to bring to your attention for the spring semester. In January, of course, we'll celebrate the 100th day of school. Our concentration for January is going to be attendance, and we are going to really push making sure that we implement and have a learner of the month for every grade every single month. February, our focus point will be, of course, Black History Month. That'll be included in our morning announcements. Our concentration will be grades, respect, and perseverance. March and April are the same because we're going to be gearing up for LEAP testing in May. We're calling it the Hawks in Action campaign, and we're going to be doing different things for standardized test prep as well as our intense interventions that will start in January. In May, we're calling it the end of the year gratitude chain. We're going to make sure we're doing a lot of staff celebrations there at the end and throughout the month. Testing, it's stressful and it wears them down because testing is you're standing there for hours. So try to do some staff celebrations to lift their spirits. We're also going to have a spirit shirt competition between the grades to wrap up the year, and that'll be their spirit shirt going into the new school year is the thought process there. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Strickland. Mr. McPherson, did you email the president?
Hello.
Thank you.
Good evening. It's that time again where we get to discuss our data at the St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy. I'm proud to stand before you, a proud principal of our 3rd through 6th grade learners. So let's dive into some data, shall we? All right. So I gave you a very comprehensive packet so you can read it at your leisure. However, I'll just cut across the field in some areas and just hit some highlights. So this first graph that you're seeing, it compares our winter benchmark to our most recent benchmark, which was in September. And all of the grade levels did increase. However, we saw a very, very, very small growth in 5th grade science and social studies. So if you see ELA, math, and science and social studies, just due to our numbers, we had to have 3 teachers in smaller sections, but I didn't want any teacher to say, oh, I'm high in social studies and I'm lower in science, and they don't take accountability for, both subject areas. So that's why I merged both of them together. And then last year, being that they only tested in science and it was doubled, I felt that it would be easier to compare the progress. So I would like to highlight 3rd grade. Miss Causey, she increased. If you look under BM difference, under benchmark difference, she increased by 18.4 points. I would like to congratulate Miss Matthews. She increased by 12.7 points. Miss Garner, she increased by 17.6 points. And Miss Prescott, when you placed her science and social studies score together in the SPS calculator, she increased by 12.4 points. So can we clap it up for those people that I'm proud of them. But I wanted to dig a little deeper. I said it's not just good to compare one benchmark to the next. I want to see if this was a LEAP test, would we grow or would we not grow? So if you can please turn to the 4th page, and it'll be a purple and blue graph. There it is. I wanted to compare the second benchmark to the LEAP assessment data. So what we got in the spring, I wanted to compare it and say if the state said these scores have to count, who would grow and who would not. So I do want to target some focus areas, which will be 3rd grade ELA. It'll be 4th grade ELA. It'll be 3rd grade science and social studies and 5th grade science and social studies. Those will be the areas to watch. I want to see, especially with ELA and their standards being cyclical, meaning that they cover the same type of standards every 9 weeks. I'm trying to see what the disconnect could be. Is it a problem with the instruction? Are there some needs with the learners that we have to address? What is the issue and why aren't we seeing the gains? Because if you see in the 5th teacher, Miss Causey in 3rd grade math, she had a 37.9 assessment index and she jumped up to a 62 assessment index. And these 3rd grade learners are testing on the computer, so they took their benchmarks on the computer. And we anticipated a big decline, but we're glad to see that we were able to, see that growth with 3rd grade math. Really math across the board, and I'm going to get into that. If you look at Ms. Davis, last year she got a 24.2, and for this current benchmark, she has a 42.9. Mr. Boykins, 21.4, went to a 28.2, and Ms. Garner last year she had a 19.2, and this benchmark she had a 36.6. So we're seeing gains with math across the board, and I'm going to show you when we talk about our next steps as to why I think that's the case. Of course, if you go through the different pages, you'll be able to see a point-by-point, teacher-by-teacher summary. But I'll cut across the field, and I will go to, if you go to the next page, to the page that says action steps to ensure progress towards SHPSD's academic goals. It'll be the, if you go 4 pages down. Yes. Action steps to ensure progress towards SHPSD's academic goals. And the first will say, number 1, increase completion of digital lessons in Zern. I believe that another step that I mentioned later, but us adhering to the digital lessons in Zern really allowed us to see a lot of gains with math across the board. So what does that look like? The learners have, of course, they have face-to-face interactions with their teacher. They get a lesson from the teacher, but then they also have certain digital lessons that they have to complete independently at their own pace, and it's tied to their content area. So I do want to, can we clap it up for Dr. John Paul? We've been working together, and he's been really helping us see the value of adhering to the curriculum. So this is a part of the curriculum. And Dr. Joseph, if you could go to the next page. At the beginning of the week, the teachers hate to see this, but I'm going to show you this graph. It's not in your packet, but it's on the screen. And so if you look at that 80% mark on the screen, that means that 80% of the members in the grade level have to get 3 lessons or more every single week. Based on Zern's research, that says if you do this every single week, you're going to be on target to make some big growth. So that's this week. And I tell the teachers, I want to make sure we hit that goal. So when we transition to 4-day work weeks, we're not slipping. So if you look at the bottom, it says average lessons per week. That means 3rd grade, if you average up the lessons that all the kids have completed, it equals 4. 4th grade will be 3.8. 5th grade will be 5.1, and 6th grade will be 4.2. And so if you look at that, you'll be like, wow, they're really making some growth. But you could have an overachiever doing 15 lessons a week and someone who may be struggling just doing 1 lesson per week. And the 15 lessons will make up for the 1 lesson that the learner is doing. So what Zern did, they said, we want to make sure 80% of your kids are getting their 3 lessons. So if you look across the board, we've met the goal for this week on a Thursday. Please clap it up for that. Thank you. And this is not anything unusual. If you look at our week-to-week data, because we're able to see the data so rapidly as they complete it, I'm able to send it and remind and show the teachers, hey, 3rd and 4th, they're on track. 5th and 6th, let's step it up. And I get on the intercom and tell them that. And the learners take ownership of their data through this platform. So us adhering to these digital lessons, we've seen gains at the beginning of the year, and as you can see, based off of our comparison from last year's LEAP, we're seeing some gains there as well. The second one, this is a bit challenging, and this will be the fully utilized Amira Learning Program, and that's number 2. And it's only challenging because the data syncs up every Sunday, so I can't check it daily like I can with Zern. But what we did, instead of waiting to the end of the day for the intervention block, the same way the math teachers use those Zern digital lessons in the classroom with their daily instruction, we started doing that this week so we can see that participation grow, so that the ELA teachers have more ownership of the Amira data. And that helps the learners with their reading fluency. Are they able to read the words, they're reading stories, and they're able to actually talk to the computer, and the computer through AI is able to assess their reading progress and their goals. 3, adhering to the Tier 1 curriculum. Is that curriculum is queen, curriculum is king at Shada, is queen, it's the duke, it's the duchess. Everything that we do, we're tying to the curriculum, because even though it may not look like the LEAP test every single day, it really boosts them toward mastery. And us really diving into that Tier 1 curriculum really helps us make sure we get our kids exposed to that rigor. We're going to be we're almost done developing individualized teacher plans. All those who didn't meet the goal of 50.1 for their assessment index, they have a lot of different plans, and it's tiered. So if you're 10 points away from 50.1, you have a different set of goals, and if you're a little bit further out, you have another set of goals. I'll do the last 2. 5th is incentivized learner achievement. So at the beginning of January, all of our learners who scored basic or above, they will get to spend time with me, but they'll be spending time with me at the movies. So we'll be able to see a movie, and I just wanted to make sure that they were rewarded for their hard work. And I know the state, loves to push them at mastery, but I really want them to make, especially for our learners who may have some exceptionalities or who may struggle, whether they get documented supports or not, I wanted them to get some type of ownership and not see the bar so far away. So we'll be going to the movies. I'll be getting my popcorn with extra butter. Don't tell my doctor. All right. Or my mother. All right, number 6, lastly, be enriching academic opportunities. So as you all are well aware, we have Profile of a Graduate Day, and those are hands-on activities that prepare our learners for success after they graduate. And this past week, we completed civic-minded activities. So 3rd graders learned about civic leaders, they learned about politicians, they learned about police officers, and they created a poster. 4th grade learners, they did a classroom cleanup to be good citizens. 5th grade, they engaged in a debate as to why we needed traffic lights in Greensburg. And 6th grade, they looked at a problem that needed to be solved in the community, like having more parks and different things like that, even having another market, and they developed a plan to solve that particular issue. So doing that where learners are learning, but they don't feel like they're learning, if you get my drift, it'll really help us boost, things forward. But it's all tied into the data. So you can read the rest of the report at your leisure. Did anyone have any questions? Thank you once again for the opportunity to serve as the principal of Shada. And everyone, can we just please clap it up for St. Helena Arts Technology Academy? Thank you.
Go away on my computer. This is what it is. Huh? Give me the paper. Yeah, but got it. Now it's coming back on. No, give me this paper. Item D, Superintendent's Report, District Updates.
All right. Good evening, community. Good evening, board members. I'd like to begin with recognizing the outstanding partnership we share with Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Z5.
This remarkable organization has been a constant supporter of our district, regularly donating school supplies and other essential items to meet the needs of our learners at St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy. This evening, we are especially grateful to celebrate their incredible generosity with a donation that they made of $3,075 for Lena's Closet. At this time, we would like Ms. Sandra Winding, if you wouldn't mind to come up, or anyone, one of the members would like to come up and speak on behalf of the donation. We do have the big check we would like to donate.
But I will yield this
Okay.
opportunity to Dr. Moses.
All right, Dr. Moses.
Boy, that blue looks good, I tell you.
Yes, it does.
I love it, I love it.
I will
evening.
digress. Mr. McPherson, we will digress. We will.
Well, good evening. Once again, I am Dr. Tanya Moses, the Vice President for Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Theta Theta Zeta chapter in Hammond, Louisiana. And so it is indeed a pleasure for us to have this partnership with the St. Helena School District. And so we are truly always excited and happy to be able to donate each year to the school and to do whatever we can, because at Zeta it's our vision and it's our mission, and that is to advance scholarship. And anything scholastic that we can do for St. Helena is what we would like to do and want to continue our partnership with the schools. And so, yes, we were more than happy that our region, the southern region, I'm sorry, we always say the mighty southern region, but the southern region accepted our proposal from our chapter to allow Lena's Closet to be our Z-Hope, and Z-Hope stands for Zeta Helping Other People Excel. So it was our Z-Hope doing our Louisiana State workshop, and we were able to donate the $3,075 to the district. So once again, we appreciate it. We look forward to continuing our partnership with you all. And if there's anything that we can do, and just sitting here listening to the reports, if we can help in any way possible when it comes to testing, anything that we can do possibly in the school, we are willing as members of Zeta Phi Beta, because as we said, scholarship is one of our main principles. And so whatever we can do to help uplift the school and the students, just please feel free to reach out to us.
Mr. McPherson, would you like to just say a few words? Because I know that Dave presented a lot of great stuff at your school. And then once we finish, we'll take a picture, if you don't mind.
And so I would just like to really thank you all from the bottom of my heart. It's hard to get a lot of helping hands and quality hands to really just engage our learners. And our learners, we still pull from the school supplies that you've given us at the beginning of the year. And to see the fact that you all are so dedicated to us, it really warms me as not just a professional, but as a person. So from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you all for putting your ideals and your values into action. You have a lot of learners and even a lot of adults who see you. And so even if you don't get a lot of thank yous, let this one thank you serve for the voices of thousands of others here in St. Helena Parish. We appreciate you. We love you. Anything that we can do to support your endeavors and your efforts, we will do so.
Well, thank you so much.
And we have already put those funds to great use.
Well, on behalf felt gratitude to Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and we thank you for your continued support and unwavering commitment to our schools and our learners. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can't have red on. I don't want them to get it twisted. Let's pull the red off, baby. Let's pull the red off, baby. I don't want them to get it twisted. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
She don't want to get in.
I'm sorry. January 8th. I said January 8th.
28.
We come back on January 8th, 2025. What did I say?
January 28.
No, not the. No. Additionally, Friday, December 20th, will be a half a day for our learners. And on that day, all teachers are required to attend a safety meeting with the Louisiana State Police at 1 p.m. This meeting underscores our ongoing commitment to ensuring the safety of our learners and our staff. And safety continues to be a top priority for our district. Recently, we conducted a series of rave panic button test drills to verify that all employees and key community members receive emergency alerts promptly. Did you all receive your alerts? I think I sent about 1 million of them this week. These drills are part of our proactive approach to preparedness. I'm also pleased to announce the hiring of Mr. Gregory Tillery, who will serve as our school safety officer at the high school. Mr. Tillery will provide an additional layer of protection by supporting the administrative team and patrolling our school buildings and grounds. This new position reflects our understanding of the urgency to enhance school safety, and we are confident that Mr. Tillery will play a vital role in ensuring a secure environment for our learners. And despite the challenges we have encountered, we remain committed to collaborating with the Sheriff's Office to prioritize the safety of our children. And while obstacles exist, I firmly believe that we share a common goal, and that is the well-being of our learners. And finally, I would like to share the 2024 test scores for our district. These scores provide a snapshot of our academic progress and areas for growth. You do have a detailed chart in your packets, and I'd like to review them now. Also in your packet, you have all of the letters of correspondence that have been shared with our sheriff since November 4th. I do have copies for the audience if you'd like to have a copy. So we are comparing our school performance scores from 2024 and 2023. There are various components that the State Department has scored us on, and I'd like to start with the first one. For our K-8 and high school assessment index, this includes the ELPT progress points. Our letter grade is an F, and that's a score of 27.8. However, that's an increase from 2023 of 21.7. So the increase is 6.1 index points. We did focus on trying to get our kids to score mastery on this test. So there was a heavy emphasis on assessments this past school year. When we look at our high school progress index, it did drop. In 2024, we are at a 67.9 C. It dropped 3.3 points from 71.2. So there is work that needs to be done with the progress of our learners from one year to the next. For our K-8 assessment index, this includes the ELPT progress points. We did grow 6.8 points from 23.1 in 2023 to 29.9 in 2024. So that, once again, shows the emphasis that we made and the focus we had on improving the performance of our kids. No progress for our kids in third grade because they didn't take a test in second grade. So we showed improvement, however, the progress that, the data that's calculated for progress did not include the third grade. For our dropout credit accumulation index, we grew 1.1 points from 135.7 to a 136.8. Our interest and opportunities took a little dip of 1.1 from a 134.5 to a 133.4 this year, still an A. Our high school assessment index, that also grew 2.3 points from 11.9 in 2023 to 14.2 in 2024. Our progress, however, for the high school dropped from 80.8B to a 78.3B in 2024. Our ACT index grew 12.4 points from a 12.8F to a 25.2F. And then you see the rest of our high school indices. The interest and opportunities dropped 1.1 point from a 134.5 to a 133.4 in 2024. Our strength of diploma, that is the number of kids who score or earn dual enrollment, advanced placement, and all of the other things to get them prepared for post-secondary. We dropped 19.1 points from 101.1 in 2023 to an 82B in 2024. We also dropped in our graduation rate index from a 93.8A to an 87.7B. And the actual cohort graduation rate dropped 5.5 points from an 84.4B to a 78.9B. For our early learning center, once again, they are at a high proficient rate. And as you can see, each indices or each area or component, you saw an increase for the performance score, the emotional support score, the classroom organization, and also instructional support, all saw an increase from 2023 to 2024. So that is a great highlight for our early learning center. So our overall school performance, we did grow from a 54.2 to a 55. So we are 6 points away from earning a C. My heartfelt gratitude to our teachers, our staff, and our community for your dedication and support. And together we are making strides toward our vision of academic excellence and a safe learning environment for all. So I thank you and I wish you all a joyful and restful holiday season. That concludes my report.
All right, item E, executive session. Can I get a motion? Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter,
Second.
second by Ms. Virginia Bell. No questions. As by general consent, we should go into executive session to discuss the superintendent's contract, and we shall return. Can I get that motion that we return from executive session? Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter. Second by Ms. Lolita Porter. We went into executive session to discuss Dr. Joseph's contract. According to the language in the contract automatically renews until December of 2025. Okay? Next item. The next meeting date will be January the 9th, 2025. Closing comment, board members.
The last day of school is a special day in December.
It's her birthday.
That's a special day.
That's Saturday, right?
The 23rd?
The
21st.
21st?
That's a special day.
Okay, Ms. Porter.
Dr. Joseph, that's a special day.
All right.
All right.
I have a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's what I was gonna say. Merry Christmas to all.
All a good night.
And all a good night. So that last motion, this meeting is adjourned. All yeas.